Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to be blasting off to outer space for the third time in a row in terms of the Hudson Soft Mario Party titles. But this time around though, it's all about a dream rather than just... Although we still ended up on the space station, but even then though, we are glad to be back into outer space once again. Hey, what's up ladies and gentlemen, it is I am the one and only Mighty the Armadillo here, and I am of course back for some more yet again for the likes of the Maxi Toys videos once again. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of Mario Party 5 for the Nintendo GameCube. So last weekend is the fact that we have managed to recently win through Undersea Dream, and oh no, I did manage to able to win. So even then though, unlike in 2012 predecessor, well despite it was no longer there anymore in our channel, well mind you though that I'm presuming that White Teddy did manage to lost that board back in the day, but now in 2021 I finally managed to able to win that board for once. No tiebreaker or anything else like that, which I appreciated. So yeah, for this weekend is the fact that we're going to be hitting to the forms of the 5th board in Mario Party 5. That's what appears to be buddy forms of Future Dream. And as you guys can clearly tell, I managed to decide to play as Wario in this board. Why? Because we haven't seen Wario ever since in Rainbow Dream. And also I managed to bring back Mini Bowser ever since in well, let's just say Pirate's Dream, and also same applies for Luigi, and possibly Daisy as well. So we can expect we can able to actually just to see if how, you know, things gonna turn out to be and such. So either way though, yeah, let's begin. Future Dream. For what I've noticed on this board is the fact that in addition to able to go back into some sort of like a space station environment, but at the same time, you remember the forms of Rainbow Dream. Remember we're gonna have to do a lot of island hopping in order to go from place to place. Well, in Future Dream, it's pretty much exactly the similar thing as in Rainbow Dream, which means, once again, we are doing island hopping. However, unlike the forms of how it does it on Rainbow Dream, that in order to go from one island to the other, is that you're gonna have to pay coins in order to proceed to the next island. Whilst in here, thankfully, it's for free. However though, the only thing you need to go from one island to the other is by simply you're gonna have to go through, well, these teleportation pads. And rather than just having 4 islands instead of like, well, having 4 islands, because now we now need to traverse through 3 islands. So because of that though, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of long stretch of road. Kind of situations like so. Especially noticeable about the fact that, unlike in Rainbow Dream, that for the most part though, is the fact that usually, relatively speaking, that usually some of these islands in Rainbow Dream is actually kind of small, but in here though, is actually a lot more larger in scale. So because of that though, there were a few times that you might to actually just to think to yourselves, am I supposed to make it in time? Well, it turns out though, is the fact that it can take a really long time to make your way there. So yeah, if I were you, if you manage to come across into a mushroom capsule or something, then you should highly recommend you're able to actually use that item if possible, if you come across into it. So, and of course we're going back into Mazed and Confused again, so we can expect we can able to do this like no problem whatsoever, without any sort of electrocutions or anything else like this. So yeah, you probably get the suggestions. So, anyway though, today's day is of course the 3rd of July today, in this case in 2021, and as far as you notice, ever since in our Let's Plays of, well, let's just say both Klonoa Empire of Dreams recently, during the course of, Thursday, and to top it all off, then another new Let's Play just recently came out to be, ever since in yesterday, which it appears to be buddy forms of Pac-Man World 3, in this case the black sheep of the series. And just because we just want to get these series of games finished before we move on to the next series of games and stuff like that, which either way though, it knows what it is. So because of this though, yeah, we're very excited, able to actually do like even more Let's Plays in particular. Like, obviously that, I can assure to you that, I'm pursuing Maxi that he's pretty much going to be working on Pac-Man World 3 right now, and as far as Sonic the Hedgehog that he's concerned, that he's probably going to be tackling through Klonoa Empire of Dreams, so I can assure to that anyway. So, at least we can able to expect that Klonoa Empire of Dreams might go a little bit quicker and shorter, but either way though, we'll talk more about that until later on, but I digress. So with these little teleportation pads, they're all color-coded depending on what islands you go to. Like for instance, if you go onto the left teleportation pad, you're forced to go onto the left island. And same applies to the right teleportation pad, and that way you're forced to go into the forms of the right island. So it doesn't matter which specific teleportation pad you're going to go into, so regardless of everything else though, thankfully it's all color-coded, so because of that though, thankfully it's nowhere near as randomized as the forms of how it does it on, well, let's just say in the forms of, you know what I mean. And of course we're going back onto Wildflower again, so I don't know how many times we're able to actually going to be playing this minigame as often, but either way though, it knows what it is for the most part, so as far as today's discussions I want to point things out is the fact that obviously we've only got 2 weeks left until, well, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD for the Nintendo Switch will be releasing around that time, which I am still excited for, and I was so close to beat my previous record. But regardless of everything else though, I'm alright with this, so because, you know, I am a good button masher, like my fists and everything is all grown strength and everything else like that, for Mighty, the Armadillo, such as I am, and, well, you probably already know why, but I digress. Although, if you ever play this board on story mode, basically, much like the forms of Rainbow Dream, it only takes place in one island, as opposed to all 3 islands, so yeah, you probably get the idea about that. Although, honestly, out of all the actual boards throughout the game, usually in Mario Party 5, this one is probably my second least favorite board, although the first one out of the bunch though, or my true least favorite board in the game, it will probably have to be by the forms of the finale board, which I'll talk more about that until specifically when it gets towards the very end of this specific month, if possible. And of course the DK space is almost right next to that little ladder, and as well as the forms of that, I would say red space or somewhat, even though I wasn't paying attention, so I do apologize for that. So there are quite a few happening spaces in this board though, like for instance there was one of them, or actually 2 of these happening spaces on this island, as what Daisy and Mini Bowser were actually in, and basically one of them will actually take you to the other island, like utilizing the forms of that specific jet rocket. And then you have to force to pay 10 coins by the way, if you manage to go onto the one island to the other. So, and vice versa when you go onto the forms of the right island to the left island. So, yeah, you always have to force to pay 10 coins if you're done with that. And also, there's also 3 happening spaces in the middle island, and as you can tell, that basically this allows you to able to force to get onto the rocket. And there's also another happening space, which I was about to be landing on right now. It's basically like a slot machine, except the fact that, well, it does remind me of a similar thing from the likes of Bowser slots in Mario Party 2. However though, I'm not very good with slot timing window and stuff like that, so, but at least I got a mushroom at least, so that should be good for me, especially noticeable if I need to get, you know, good amount of dice rolls, and you probably name the rest, so. Alright, so at least we can able to do banking coins. I think we've already played this before, which, if I may be right or wrong, but yeah, I think we've already played this before, so, no comments to say about this here. It's actually kind of weird how Luigi was actually a lot taller than Wario, as you can see right there, which is kind of odd. Well, at least Wario is still, like, strong or fatter than more likely than everything, so. But, you know, you get the gist of it, so, yeah, anyway, a few things I want to briefly discuss upon this is that, basically, remember how the fact that we are still practically going to be continuing things on in terms of Mario Party 5 uploading schedules by that point, usually for both Saturdays and Sundays in particular? Well, we have decided, assuming if that, some toys else, including Maxi has already mentioned about this already, ever since in journey forms of, you know, the past few Let's Plays or something like that, What we're gonna do is that it's all at some point next weekend, likely on the 9th of July to the 10th of July, we might actually decide able to have no uploading schedules on next weekend, because I'm actually going to be having a holiday break. To be more specifically, going to Dorset for about 3 days. Yeah, just only 3 days. I was expecting for a whole week, but no, just only 3 days. Just because of this whole, you know what I mean. But, hey, at least on the upside is, though, basically, I can able to actually just to go almost right near to the sunny beach as it is. So, at least even then, I'm still excited about this. Especially noticeable how the fact that I was expecting if the weather itself might be pretty damn good. Especially noticeable how the fact that we are still in summer. So we can actually able to actually expect to be more hyped about just, you know, rather than just being stuck at home for the whole way through. But, that's how it is when it comes to most people found us to be kind of tedious when it comes to stay-at-home routine, but of course it's no longer a thing just because, well, things get a little bit more, you know, relative at this point, especially noticeable for this whole entire year. So at least I can able to seemingly to say that 2021 is going to be pretty decent year. Well, at least for the most part. Well, we can't exactly, for surely we can able to mention about this right now, just because we're not exactly at the end of the year yet, so. Anyway, it's time to use my glorious mushroom so that I can able to give myself some good dice rolls with that, you know what I mean. So, 10, really great start, and 4, decent, but we'll take it. Especially noticeable that we've actually got 14. So, have we got enough? Oh, there's that chain jump space, which, I don't suppose I can able to land on that, because I don't think anyone else is going to make it to that, you know, the store at this point, which, either way though, we'll see what happens to doing at some point in the next few turns, worth noting for. But, either way though, let's go ahead and purchase this first star in Future Dream. So as I mentioned this before already, this is the 3rd time that Mario and the crew are actually going to be onto outer space, ever since in, well, let's just say ever since in Eternal Star from the likes of Mario Party 1, and Spaceland from Mario Party 2, but in the future, to be more specifically on, well, technically solo mode in Mario Party 6 doesn't count, but at least it's there, but, until when it gets to the point until Mario Party 8 and Mario Party 9, and even especially noticeable that I think that's pretty much as far as I can say. Oh, aside from, you know, Mario Party Island Tour, that it managed to able to include some of the references from Super Mario Galaxy and stuff like that. But either way though, you know exactly how that goes, so. And oh boy, we're going back to Mario Mechs again. So because of this though, hopefully with a much more of a different environment of any sort, which either way though, I don't suppose that we actually going to be coming across into that. Well, I have no idea why I'm saying things weirdly enough for this point today, because I know it has been, you know, 7 weeks, or no, 7 days or so, ever since whenever I managed to able to go back into this Mario Party 5 recording session, so but at least we pretty much expected that we get pretty much at the halfway point. Well, I would classify for saying we are actually on the halfway point of the boards in Mario Party 5 before we get into the forms of, well, easily without doubt, the best side games in the entire Mario Party series, because, well, this game is jam-packed with side games and stuff like that, or side modes I should say, alongside with Mario Party 6 and Mario Party 7, although mind you, Mario Party 7 might not have that much content here and there. Well, at least we'll get to that at some point until 2022, as we said this countless amount of times in the past, but either way though, it knows what it is, so. Okay, so both Luigi and Daisy are out of my team. Oh, come on, there we go. In fact, we're almost gonna give ourselves a draw once 5 seconds is up, so I wasn't able to actually just try to deal the amount of damage onto Mini Bowser's machinery contraption robot, but obviously dashing will not do the thing, because otherwise though, it'll do like pitiful you know, damage and stuff like that, but at least I did try. But anywho, and it looks like Luigi gets a 2 thanks to the forms of these cursed mushroom that he got ever since in the previous turn. And Daisy gets a miserable 1, so that seems unfortunate for those bad rolls and such. And it looks like Mini Bowser is going to be able to use the Warp Pipe Capsule. I get the feeling that he's going to use it on me, because I am 1 step away from that, you know, the next star. So, yeah, he's definitely going to use it on me. And sure enough, he did. And, of course, he will get himself his first star for, you know, Mini Bowser, such as himself here. So, yeah, it knows what it is when it comes to computer AI these days. Especially noticeable, they always know they're about to be able to use certain strategies involved. And the next star space is actually on the same island as I was, so at least thank you, Mini Bowser, for able to actually switch places with me for once. And once again, he got himself a hidden block. Lucky you. Just lucky you. Especially noticeable that you keep on, you know, getting some of your coins back. But anyway, I would have liked able to use that, but not now though, just because, well, let's see what numbers I do need. 4, 5, 6, I need 8. 8 or higher will do. Oh, just only 1 off by getting the next star. Ah, oh well, no big deal. Let's not hop onto here, but at least I could, okay, I should be safe from over there. Especially noticeable, I really refuse to land on 2 of those capsule event spaces, like one of them is Chronoplon's capsule event, and also same applies by the forms of, well, you know, this little warp space thing, which I have no idea what that is, because the game doesn't tell us what the space actually does, but you know what I'm saying. So anyway, Nightlife Fright, we've already played it several times already, but at least it's nice to able to actually just replay that same exact minigames over and over again. I know it sounds a little bit of a tedium moment and all, but it knows what it is when it comes to minigame roulette. So another thing is worth noting for is the fact that by that time, until this month anyway, well at least specifically in the UK or America. Ah, dang it! I was a bit too late. Ah, curses. But at least Luigi wants that. Yeah, anyway, around that time until this month, for Kingdom Hearts 3D Dream Drop Distance on the UK version on the 3DS, that game will about to be 9 years old until this month for the UK release of the game. And, well, generally the the Japanese release of the game already came out 9 years ago in Japan, so at least generally though we've already passed through that. So at least even then though we can expect this much, so. Alright, so let's see what Daisy's gonna go for. She gets a 4, so in this case she'll land on, what's this? Another cursed mushroom! Wow, looks like some of these computer players keep on getting screwed over by obtaining cursed mushrooms every time. But oh well, no big deal. But at least the cursed mushroom act out kind of similar to the mini mushroom from Mario Party 4. That except rather than just becoming smaller, because now you're actually normal size and you have to deal with like dice block 1 through 5. So yeah, that's something worth keeping track of. So there we go, I've got myself my 2nd star in Future Dream. Top notch for my dice roll skills there. Well, depending on luck, that's this. And the next star space is back onto the first island down there, so this is going to be a long stretch of road when it comes to making it towards there. And of course I might as well get myself cursed mushrooms, so yeah, that's a bit stupid for my part. But at least I can cope with this, I hope. Alright, so do we get ourselves... Nope, no battle minigame just yet though, but we will do at some point, if depending on the forms of, you know, the random nature of it. So, but at least we can able to expect that we can predict on certain things. And also another thing as well is the fact that, what else I was gonna mention? Oh yeah, do you ever have the fact that, the Pokemon Destiny Deoxys movie, that, in the UK version at least, that particular film in the UK DVD release, it was, pretty much 9 years old by that time. At least I sort of miscount on it, because let's face it, I think honestly my least favorite Pokemon movie film, it will still have to be by the Forms of Destiny Deoxys, because I found that film pretty dull and boring. At least to me though anyway, just because I just found that, you know, film kind of slow, and also some of these scenes just drags out every now and then. And don't even get me started on Tori as a character. Oh jeez, I can't stand him so much. In fact, let me know in the comments below for the question of the day. What is your least favorite Pokemon movie? Well, I already said my least favorite film of all time, which is of course Destiny Deoxys, because I already explained things all this much. But honestly, I think my favorite one will have to be by the forms of the movie 13, Zoroark Master Evolutions, just because I really love the relationship between the forms of a bond friendship between Celebi and Zora, because that was actually the sweetest part about the film, actually, just because, well, I just loved every single part of it. Although, sure, the actual Zoroark doesn't seem to able to become that important. Well, at least he's kind of important, especially noticeable for, you know, protecting the, you know, Zora, even though that it usually heavily utilizes telepathy when it comes to likely, you know, speaking and stuff like that, while Zoroark is the only exception, because he just does like a screeching noise and also screaming and stuff like that. But to be honest, it doesn't bother me at all though. And especially noticeable, they actually just bring back, you know, Suicune from Pokemon Forever, despite the fact that he was actually in a shiny counterpart. And same applies to Entei, ever since in Pokemon the Movie 3, Spell of the Unknown. Well, despite he was also in shiny form as well. So, although despite we actually got ourselves the default colors returning, but it's more likely an illusion, so at least to be more specifically with the Zoroark's transformation and stuff. So, because the reason why they go for these shiny Pokemons in the first place, well, for you know, legendary beasts, for the shiny variations of them, is because of the celebration for the release of the Pokemon Generation 2 remake for the Nintendo DS. So, anyway, so with that being said though, I still managed to enjoy that film nonetheless, despite how most people found this to be controversial and stuff, but to be honest with you, it's not too bad honestly. So, I was hoping I can get myself 3 to able to land on that, you know, the Chain Charm space, but I was literally so unlucky right there. But oh well, beggars sales can be choosers, I suppose, when it comes to dealing with dice blocks here and there, so. Alright, Fish Upon a Star. Is this like a new minigame we can able to actually play through? Let me double check around here. I think this is the only one we've already played, so at least we can able to still do some survival stuff, as you know. And yeah, what is your favorite Pokemon movie as well? Because that was the another question of the day as well. So because of that though, I'd like to hear your thoughts, because usually, relatively speaking, some Pokemon films are pretty good, some are meh, and some of them are just bad. Like, specifically, Pokemon the Movie 16, and I somehow got screwed after talking too much of negativity, especially noticeable that it's still my least favorite film in the entire Pokemon series. It will still have to be the 7th film, because, you know, I already mentioned about this already, so let's not mention about this ever again. So we're just gonna have to move on and play some bit of Mario Party, okay? Yeah, I think that's how this works. Especially noticeable how the fact that we're actually on the 5th board already. So, out of 7 boards, so once we're done with the Future Dream, then we pretty much gotta go ahead and say this right now. We can probably guarantee to able to deal with Sweet Dream and Bowser Nightmare. To be more specifically, when we get towards the very end of the month. Because I already said this before, I might actually decide to take a break on this until next weekend, because I said this before, I'm actually going to be taking a weekend break from the likes of, you know, going on holiday and such, like going to Dorset for about, you know, 3 days. So, but thankfully though, the amount of uploading schedules for, well, let's just say, Klonoa Empire of Dreams, oh! Dang, Daisy got owned again ever since in Mario Party 4, because somehow the star space is exactly right where Daisy is. So, Jeez, that's the second time in a row so far for those Mario Party Marathon of Let's Plays that Daisy got owned by the star placement. So, at least she able to actually just misses that completely. Hey, what is going on with this sometimes, I must admit though, but I digress. That's, thankfully though, until at some point in, you know, this Monday, or in this case, this upcoming Monday, all the way up to Thursday, there will still gonna be some more uploading schedules on, well, Pac-Man World 3, and as well as, Klonoa Empire of Dreams, so at least these uploading schedules are still gonna be up, so, let's see if I can just, I don't know if that was gonna be the right timing, but we'll find out. Okay, that works. Even though I just need to give myself a good dice roll here. Oh, this is gonna be bad. Especially noticeable that you have no option to select no, and basically I have to force to hop onto this rocket. And to make matters worse, is that it's predetermined by random, by the way, if you hop onto those rockets and you blast off, and then basically you can either go either the left island or the right island. So in this case, I am going onto the left island, so yeah, that's kind of a bad luck department right there. Especially noticeable, I was expecting if I was trying to aim for the highest roll as soon as I possibly could. But no, I didn't get my chance to do it, so that kind of stinks on my part. Alright, Gladiator. We've already played this before, so either way though we can expect this much, so hopefully we're just gonna have to avoid getting flattened by, you know, the actual Gladiator itself. Oh yeah, and another thing is worth talking about this as well, is that, recently I managed to able to actually get on to the forms of my continuation playtime on the forms of Mario Golf Super Rush, which as you already know, because even then though, that to me, playing Mario Golf on the go, to be more specifically Advanced Tour on the Game Boy Advance, Mario Golf World Tour for the 3DS, even though despite the fact there has been quite a long time actually since I actually did manage to play that game, because obviously I pretty much unlocked every single character, although mind you I'm still missing one stage left, which appears to be Starry Sky Island, specific environment stage, because it kind of feels like similar to DK Jungle environments from the likes of Toadstool Tour, but usually you're gonna have to deal with the Birdie Challenge, which even then though, I still find that impossible to do it, and mind you, I can't even beat that challenge at all, because I keep on messing things up with the actual, some good shots with the actual golf clubs, which even then though, I can assure to you it might continue that tradition once I've continued playing Mario Golf Super Rush, which that reminds me that some people usually complain about that weird subtitle for the game, like they just expecting if they're wishing to able to actually expect that they could go for a better name, but at least Mario Golf name, it still applies, but usually for the subtitle, why can't they just go for a little bit more, well, better? Like, for instance, that we already had Mario Tennis Ultra Smash, despite the game itself is actually a flop. Well, to be more specifically, one of the worst reviewed Mario Sports game, just because of bare bones content. Although the visuals do look good, even though I know that it might be felt lacking originality, but still, you really can't deny about the fact that how good the visuals are from the likes of Mario Tennis Ultra Smash, but aside from that, the amount of content is just bare bones. So, in fact, I can't even believe that game has been out for about, well, almost 6 years now, so because of that though, and also same applies to the forms of, well, let's just say the release of, well, to be more specifically, Mario Party Star Rush, that game will become 5 years old specifically until October. So, yeah, geez, I can't even believe time itself just went flying. So, yeah, I might actually go to this little teleportation device, and I might get the horrible feeling that I might able to accidentally land on that another happening space, which, if it does, although it will help me out, especially noticeable if I was trying to able to get the happening star. Yep, talk of a devil. I keep on messing things up, didn't I? Screw that space. Oh well, we'll just have to take it, I suppose. Alright, just take me anywhere. It could be either the right island or... Oh, really? We're going back onto the left island again. And on the same pad as well. Oh, jeez. I'm feeling so unlucky at that point. But, at least I'm still in the lead, though, so it knows what it is for me, so... Oh, jeez, another battle game time, so let's see what battle minigame are we playing next, then. And this time we get a bet for 5 coins, so... Yeah, I guess that's something. So, we've already played these 3 minigames itself. Oh, obviously, we're not gonna go for this luck-based minigame again, so we'll just go straight into this minigame instead, which is the minigame that we've already played. So, although, mind you, we are still missing, 2 battle minigames left, though, but, we'll get to that at some point. So, anyway, it's just time to do some ridiculous button mashing again. At least Daisy's she's in 4th. And Mini Bowser's in 3rd, and I somehow become victoriousness, or victoryness, I should say. And look at that, it matches the same color as Wario's overalls, despite, you know, green shoes and also purple overalls, but hey, at least he can able to hop onto his, well, technically his very own, well, technically that, you know, Daisy managed to able to actually get onto her yellow dory platform, but usually for Wario's color, it was obviously, purple and such, you know, just like in the forms of Mario Party 4, so, alright, we're on turn 10 already, so we basically at the, almost at the halfway point of this board, so, yeah, there's not much else to say for this point here, so, anyway, so let's go ahead and, see what happens, for Luigi right there, so, is he probably gonna get himself his, next star? Well, sure enough, he is going to get it, so, because obviously he got enough coins, in addition to that, he also gets himself his really good dice roll, so, at least I'll give it some credit to that though, but, hey. And another thing is worth noting for as well, is the fact that I, managed to able to actually decide to realize is the fact that whenever I managed to able to go back into other games on my own time, like to be more specifically, at some point later on today, alongside with able to keep on playing Mario Golf Super Rush, I'm also going to be able to try to play Super Mario Sunshine on my 3D All-Stars compilation on my own time, just because, you know, since this is summer after all, and this meaning about the fact that I can now finally play Super Mario Sunshine on a go, especially notable that it matches the main theme of the season, which is of course summer, so because of that though, I am super hyped about that. And especially noticeable how the fact that this is a very underrated 3D Mario game I've ever played. Although some people might not like it just because of the forms of the actual flood mechanic and all that jazz, but to be honest, it doesn't bother me at all though, just because I enjoyed that game loads and loads of times. I did a lot of replayability when it comes to that game on the GameCube version originally, but now I can able to replay the game the insane amount of times thanks to the forms of the Switch emulation port from the likes of 3D All-Stars compilation, so it still kind of sucks that it does not include Super Mario Galaxy 2 at all for the sake of this whole entire compilation. I'm guessing because it's more like a retelling story from the likes of the original game, except with the forms of more characters and such. So that might be seems the case, but and obviously that Yoshi was now become a playable thing in Super Mario Galaxy 2, whilst unlike the first game, he does make a cameo appearance from the likes of, oh, Mini Bowser's gonna go onto the right island over there. Well, despite the fact that the star space is actually on the left island, so there's no point for able to actually go onto the right island at the moment, but still, I can't deny about that, and I get this horrible feeling I might able to land on the Bomb capsule to lose 20 coins, and also might lose half of my coins if I land on the Piranha Plant capsule trap, so I'm just gonna ignore that for now, and go into the alternative path instead. So, once again, 4-player minigame to play through, and this time we are playing, of course, Fumble again. Hey, we play these a lot, potentially speaking, even though that we are still missing quite a few 4-player minigames still, but sure we'll come across into that in the future. But, anyways, let's go and continuously try to find, you know, a whole bunch of fly guys. So, even though despite I keep on getting screwed up by the forms of those, you know, random nature of this minigame because of the forms of these buckets likes to shuffle them all up and all that jazz, but you get the suggestion, so. And yeah, that's as far as I can say in terms of the forms of how Future Dream actually plays out to be. It is very similar to, you know, Rainbow Dream for sure, except the fact that it takes place in a different scenery, to be more specifically into outer space, rather than just in above the skies above, from the likes of those clouds and everything. So, and also stay replaced by the forms of how the fact that in Rainbow Dream contains 4 islands to go through, whilst in Future Dream does manage to contain 3 islands to traverse, so yeah, that's something worth noting for. There's also the third teleportation pad that you can able to actually just to see in the board, but it's been broken down, and that what appears to be a blue-colored teleportation device, so at least as far as I recall that correctly, so. Okay, so it looks like Luigi's definitely gonna avoid that, you know, the Bob-omb capsule event trap, because otherwise he really refused to lose half of his coins, which I bet that seems a good move for Luigi right there. So, oh, and also another thing as well is the fact that I might actually go ahead and say this right now. I've decided able to actually go back into Kirby's Adventure for the NES. Well, thankfully I can now able to actually play that game every now and then on my NES console mini now. Because I feel like trying to able to actually catch up to the completionist in terms of Kirby games to begin with. So, that'd be my kind of thing, so. Oh boy, we have ourselves a Bowser event right here, so what's it going to be this time around? So, Bowser Revolution. Ah, crap. Ah, crap. That's just great. I lost 11 coins from that. Yeah, there's gonna be another one of those events like this that, you know, similar to Mario Party 1, 2, 3, and 4. Basically, if Bowser Revolution comes into play, we always have to give everyone an equal amount of coins. Although, there's also the one in Mario Party 7, or, sorry, Mario Party 6 or somewhat, that, I think it's somewhat between 6 and 7, although 6 might actually act out a little bit differently, because it's now gonna take place in one of those, you know, last 5 turn events. And then as far as Mario Party 7 version is concerned, well, basically Mini Bowser / Koopa Kid is gonna do the job. So, at least if I recall that correctly, but even though it has been a while since I actually did play Mario Party 7, so at least it's been almost 3 years since I actually last touched upon Mario Party 7, just because I managed to recently, you know, 100% everything in Mario Party 7, so I'm sure that will be something, alright? Especially notable that I've recently managed to able to 100% everything in terms of Mario Party 4. Like, I've managed to able to gather all of the presents in Mario Party 4, meaning including Wario, Peach, and Daisy presents, and all it needs to do left is now is, of course, Beach Volley Frolly minigame, so. Okay, so we've now finally got Heatstroke, the last 1 vs 3 minigame we can now play. So, one player tries to knock the other 3 off the blocks, while the other 3 must jump to avoid being knocked off. And basically, Daisy's gonna able to do either the real hammer swing or a fake swing with the B button, and then the other 3 players needs to able to not get knocked off. So. And I believe this minigame will make a comeback in Mario Party the Top 100, which I absolutely have no idea why they bring this minigame back, but usually the thing is for me though is the fact that I feel like this minigame is probably the weakest 1 vs 3 minigame, or actually, generally speaking, I feel like this, along with Mathletes, are probably is the weakest 1 vs 3 minigame in this game, so because I feel like the team of 1 does have a lot of easier time to able to win these minigame like this, especially noticeable because the animation itself is rather too fast for my taste. So, and as far as the team of 3 is concerned, they have to do some sort of like a strict timing window when it comes to like, you know, jumping over stuff.